Accompanied by three chief ministers of Congress-ruled states and sister Priyanka Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi went to a Surat court today seeking bail in the Modi surname case. In fact, the BJP called the show of strength an attempt, a childish attempt at that, to intimidate the judiciary. This will have, at the moment, no impact on his disqualification as a member of parliament. The next hearing is on the 13th of April. That will look into whether the conviction can be stayed.
The Surat Sessions Court has granted bail to Congress leader Rahul Gandhi in the Modi surname criminal defamation case and has also suspended the sentence of 2 years. But the court has not yet stayed the conviction in the case, which would restore Rahul Gandhi's Lok Sabha membership.
तीन मोदी की जिक्र है, नरेंद्र मोदी जी की, ललित मोदी जी की और नेहरू। तीनों में से दो तो ओबीसी वाले है ही नहीं, और मोदी कोई कास्ट नहीं है, मोदी सरनेम है। कास्ट और सरनेम में डिफरेंस है।
As a show of strength, several senior Congress leaders accompanied Rahul Gandhi to the court, including the three chief ministers of Congress-ruled states, Ashok Gehlot, Bhupesh Baghel and Sukhwinder Singh Sikhu. His sister Priyanka Gandhi, along with K.C. Venugopal and Anand Sharma, were also present. BJP questioned the entourage and alleged Congress is trying to intimidate the judiciary.
My point is very simple. Why Congress party is trying to put this kind of undue pressure to the judiciary? There are means and ways to deal with all judicial matter. But is this the way? Has there ever seen a case like where the entire party is, trying to get out a court?
Responding to these allegations, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge hit back at the Bharatiya Janata Party.
ये शक्ति प्रदर्शन नहीं है, हमारा लीडर है तो लीडर के साथ खड़े होने के लिए सभी लोग जाते हैं। एक मामूली केस भी जब होता है तो आपके परिवार के लोग जाते हैं। तो ये तो पूरा एक पार्टी है और देश के लिए लड़ रहे हैं। तब जब देश के लिए लड़ रहे हैं तो हमारे लोग पूरे वहाँ पर पहुँचते हैं।
While the 2-year sentence has been suspended, Rahul Gandhi still can't get back his Lok Sabha membership until the court decides on his plea seeking stay of conviction on April 13th. With camera person Ashok Mahale, this is Arvind Gunasekar from Surat for NDTV.
Meanwhile, even as Rahul Gandhi was battling his legal case, which the Congress also calls a political case, a Mission 2024 for the opposition was also ready. In fact, they were holding a meeting. But apart from that, the Prime Minister, on the other hand, backed the investigating agencies that have been the target of the opposition parties that have called the investigating agencies working at the behest of the central government. The Prime Minister said that there was an ecosystem to hide the black deeds, and this ecosystem was tarnishing the image of agencies like the CBI.
करप्शन के खिलाफ कार्रवाई करने के लिए
stand firm and don't spare the corrupt from the previous governments.
कोई कमी नहीं है.
The Prime Minister speaking at a CBI event, stepping up his attack against the opposition.
मैं जानता हूं जिनके खिलाफ एक्शन ले रहे हैं वो बहुत ताकतवर लोग हैं. बरसों बरस तक वो सरकार का सिस्टम का हिस्सा रहे हैं. संभव है कई जगह किसी राज्य में आज भी विस्तृत सत्ता का हिस्सा हो. बरसों बरस तक उन्होंने भी एक इकोसिस्टम बनाया है. इकोसिस्टम अक्सर उनके काले कारनामों को कवर देने के लिए, आप जैसी संस्थाओं की छवि बिगाड़ने के लिए एक्टिव हो जाता है. एजेंसी पर ही हमला बोल दो, ये लोग आपका ध्यान भटकाते रहेंगे, लेकिन आपको अपने काम पर फोकस रखना है. कोई भी भ्रष्टाचारी बचना नहीं चाहिए.
This follows 14 opposition parties jointly petitioning the Supreme Court against the centre's alleged misuse of investigation agencies like the CBI, ED and the Tax Department. They say that of the cases filed against the prominent politicians, 95% are against opposition leaders. The court will hear their petition on April 5th.
जैसे जैसे भारत की आर्थिक शक्ति बढ़ रही है तो अड़चने पैदा करने वाले भी बढ़ रहे हैं। भारत के सामाजिक ताने बाने पर, हमारी एकता और भाईचारे पर, हमारे आर्थिक हितों पर, हमारे संस्थानों पर भी नित्य प्रतिदिन प्रहार बढ़ते चले जा रहे हैं और इसमें जाहिर तौर पर करप्शन का पैसा लगता है।
Last week, Mr. Modi said all the corrupt are coming together on one platform. Today, at another opposition meeting, this time called by the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, 18 parties attended, including 3 chief ministers. The DMK denies the meeting is political and the agenda is taking the social justice movement forward. But the parties attending countered the Prime Minister's latest attack.
अगर भाषा के आधार पर सदस्यता खत्म होने लगे तो देश के प्रधानमंत्री की सदस्यता सबसे पहले खत्म हो जाएगी। गाली गलौज में मास्टर हैं इन लोग, तो आधी बीजेपी साफ हो जाएगी अगर लैंग्वेज के आधार पे और भाषा के आधार पे सदस्यता रद्द होने लगेगी।
If no caste census, then there should be no census. सीधी सी बात, क्योंकि आंकड़े आपको चाहिए, नीतियां कैसे बनाओगे भाई, पॉलिसी फ्रेमवर्क कैसे डेवलप करोगे? ये मतलब आप ऐसे ही अंधेर नगरी बना करके सुरमा बेचते रहोगे, ये नहीं होना चाहिए। उसी संदर्भ में आज बातचीत थी, व्यापक सहमति बनी है, रेजोल्यूशन भी एक अडॉप्ट किया जाएगा और ये जो घड़ियाली आंसू बहाते हैं ना ओबीसी के नाम पर, ये सब एक्सपोज होंगे और एक्सपोज हो रहे हैं धीरे धीरे।
Even those opposition chief ministers who aren't close to Congress have now joined the rest of the opposition against the centre after Rahul Gandhi's conviction in a defamation case over the Modi surname.
With camera person Manoj Thakur in the national capital, I'm Tanushree Pandey for NDTV.
Let's now talk about the politics ahead of the Karnataka elections. First, about the Congress camp. Now, Siddaramaiah has thrown his hat in the ring, saying that he is as much a contender to the Chief Minister's post as DK Shivkumar. Listen in.
It is my last election, last electoral fight. I am not go out of the active politics. I will be in active politics. I will continue in active politics. But as far as the electoral politics is concerned, this will be my last election. I am also an aspirant for the Chief Minister post. Mr. DK Shivkumar is also an aspirant for the Chief Minister's post. In democracy, these things are happening. Nothing wrong in that.
Absolutely nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong.
Yes.
If DK Shivkumar wants to become the Chief Minister, nothing wrong.
Absolutely.
If I want to become the Chief Minister, some ex wants to become the Chief Minister, nothing wrong. Ultimately, the newly elected MLAs, they have to elect
So the
leader of the legislature party. And ultimately, High Command has to take a decision. So that is the democratic procedure.
Let's move on now. After violence on Sunday over a Ram Navami procession in Hooghly district, the second instance of arson and vandalism around a Ram Navami procession, now a message to the administration to stay alert, warning of more such pre-planned violence from the Chief Minister of West Bengal, as the TMC blamed the BJP for entering sensitive areas and creating trouble. The BJP hit back, saying Mamata Banerjee was practicing appeasement politics to hold on to her minority vote bank. Meanwhile, amidst the uneasy calm in Hooghly, NDTV spoke to victims, common folks who suffered because of the violence.
Bengal's BJP chief stopped by the police from going to parts of the Hooghly district that saw violence on Sunday evening while the BJP was taking out a procession themed on Ram Navami over rumors a mosque had been targeted.
ममता बनर्जी को एक काम नहीं है उनको समझना चाहिए कि वो अभी विरोधी दल नेत्री नहीं है, वो सरकार में है अगर उनके पास कुछ इनपुट है, अगर कुछ प्रूफ है तो एक्शन लीजिए।
The BJP blocked the arterial GT road in Hooghly district for several hours in protest against the Ram Navami violence in Rishra. Earlier, in West Bengal's Howrah district too, there had been clashes related to Ram Navami.
As the Calcutta High Court asked for a report on the Howrah violence and ordered the state to deploy police in sensitive areas to maintain peace based on a BJP petition, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee hit out at the party, blaming the BJP for inciting violence.
বুলডোজার নিয়ে কেউ মিছিল করতে যায়? আমরা বজরং বলীকে সবাই সম্মান করি, কিন্তু ওরা যেন দাঙ্গার নামে আবার কোনো প্ল্যান করতে না পারে এটা মাথায় রেখে দেবেন, সারা ভারতবর্ষে করছে।
After a warning from the Chief Minister and repeated incidents of violence related to Ram Navami over the last few days in West Bengal, security has been beefed up in sensitive areas, and the situation is likely to remain tense in sensitive areas as political temperatures around the events continue to soar. With camera person GD Shankar in Rishra, Hooghly district of West Bengal, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Let's move on now to another story that we're tracking closely. This is on the change in the curriculum for CBSE. Lessons on Mughals are to be out of CBSE textbooks. NCERT is going to revise the curriculum for class 10 and 12. Vedant has more details.
So it's going to be implemented in this particular academic year itself. That's what NCERT officials have confirmed to us. They say that they're pushing for implementation of the revised curriculum, or what they called quote-unquote rationalized curriculum, in this particular academic year itself. Now let me give you a sense of the kind of chapters that have been dropped or omitted as far as the curriculum is concerned. So as far as class 12th is concerned, the history books are going to be changed and overhauled because chapters on Mughal courts have been removed. Now there are two chapters essentially. One is named Kings and Chronicles, and the other is on Mughal courts. So these chapters basically give a glimpse of Mughal history, their lineage, and of course various kings and their kingdoms. Now of course this has been a major political contention also between say the BJP and Congress and other left-leaning parties, because the BJP has maintained, and people from a particular school of thought in fact have maintained, that there is more to Indian history than just the Mughals, while others oppose it, saying that this is in a sense jeopardizing free thought, and that people should be encouraged, children should be encouraged to read everything and have a world view. Now as far as class 11th is concerned, well, before coming to that, let me also tell you that political science textbooks will also be going through a revision, because two chapters, one named the era of one-party dominance. Now this particular chapter is on the Congress and how the hegemony of the Congress in the early years after the independence, and also the other chapter on rise of popular movements. Now this particular chapter pertains to a rise of socialist parties, communist parties, so that chapter has also been dropped. Now similarly for class 11th and 10th, also chapters on democracy have been dropped. Chapters such as challenges to democracy, that has been dropped. Then a key chapter in class 11th, a history book called Confrontation of Cultures, which talks about how in a globalizing world different cultures come in conflict with each other. That chapter has also been dropped. Now this, remember, is a larger political debate also, because this comes in an election year, so many are going to sort of see it as an extension of the BJP's policy to, in a sense, do away with Mughal history, the renaming of the Mughal gardens, etc. However, many maintain that there's much more to Indian history than just the Mughals, and the NCERT has said very importantly that curriculums need to be revised, and there are lots of bits and pieces in curriculum that need to be dropped because they become redundant and irrelevant.
The strike by private doctors in Rajasthan has entered the 16th day. Private hospitals have been shut, and so are all diagnostic labs. The pressure is on government hospitals, who are simply unable to cope. Harsha Kumari Singh reports from Jaipur.
Outside Jaipur's biggest government hospital, a line of patients. After a while, security guards begin to evict the crowds. The outpatient department operates only for a few hours in the morning, and such is the rush that many return without seeing a doctor. Like 50-year-old Rashid, semi-paralyzed. He was admitted in the general ward and then discharged and sent to the OPD to see a neurologist. By the time his turn came, the OPD had shut.
अब इनके दिमाग की नस बिलो होगी तो मतलब दिमाग की नस फटेगी। अब ना तो ये बोल रहे, ना चल रहे, कुछ भी चल भी नहीं रहे, पैरों पर खड़े भी नहीं हो रहे। इनका पूरा बदन ऐसा हो गया मतलब ये मरी लाश जैसे। इनको हम उठा रहे, बिठा रहे और डॉक्टर कोई संभाल नहीं रहे। अब आज डॉक्टर आने का मतलब आज से शुरू है आना, तो इनको रखना चाहिए नहीं।
Tarachand's 7-year-old son has fractured his leg. He needs a plaster, but has so far managed only on a bandage.
हमें हमारी दिक्कत ये है कि अब यहाँ तो डॉक्टर मिल नहीं रहे, इतनी दूर से आते हैं, किराया करके आते हैं, लोग ऑटो करके आते हैं। अब यह इलाज नहीं हो रहा तो किसी दूसरी जगह जाके इलाज करवाना पड़ेगा।
Private doctors are on strike over the Right to Health Bill. The Right to Health Bill makes it compulsory for doctors to provide emergency medical care in Rajasthan. It also urges doctors to subscribe to government health schemes. Private doctors say there is no clear definition of what an emergency is. Private doctors also say make the Right to Health Bill compulsory in 50-bed multi-speciality hospitals.
ऐसे वक्त में मैंने इनसे बार-बार अपील की है कि आपको जब नियम कानून बनाएंगे, कायदे बनाएंगे इसके एक्ट के, उस वक्त छोटी-मोटी आपकी और कोई समस्या हुई तो हल कर देंगे। ये समझते हो ही समझना नहीं चाहते हैं।
Simple tests like an X-ray or even a blood test are now impossible, and government hospitals just can't cope. With private doctors on strike for over 2 weeks now, the health infrastructure in Rajasthan is clearly crumbling. And it's ironical that the Right to Health Bill that promises affordable, universal medical health care to all is actually proving to be the cause of distress for so many patients. In Jaipur, Harsha Kumari Singh, NDTV.
An assistant professor at a prestigious institute for classical arts in Tamil Nadu has been arrested based on a sexual harassment complaint filed by a former student. Hari Padman, who teaches dance at the Kalakshetra Foundation's Rukmini Devi College of Fine Arts, was arrested on Monday by the city police.
A week after sexual harassment allegations against this man, Assistant Professor Hari Padman, who teaches dance at the prestigious Kalakshetra, an institution for classical arts, the Chennai police have arrested him.
We do not want to create any chaos.
The arrest came after sustained protests at the institute over the past week, after a former postgraduate woman student alleged he sought sexual favors. Around 90 male and female students too have alleged body shaming and verbal abuse by the professor and 3 other repertory artists.
Sexually, he asked me some favor. So I said no.
While protesting, students allege the administration has been indifferent and unresponsive to their complaints. The State Women's Commission today ordered a ban on 3 other repertory artists facing sexual harassment.
அந்த வந்து அவங்க மேல அந்த 3 பேர் மேல குற்றச்சாட்டு வெச்சிருக்காங்கல அவங்க 3 பேர் அந்த premises குள்ள அலோ பண்ண கூடாது நான் சொல்லிருக்கேன்.
Amid allegations of cover up by the institute, Kalakshetra has said it would not spare anyone found guilty of any unsavory act. While the flip-flop by the National Commission for Women too is being questioned, investigators hope many more students would muster courage to file police complaints so they could investigate other accused artists as well. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
And former US President Donald Trump has left Florida for New York City ahead of his scheduled arraignment related to the hush money case that was paid to a porn star before the 2016 election. This even as security has been tightened in Manhattan, especially around the Trump Tower, where Donald Trump will be staying before he reaches the courtroom on Tuesday to present himself for the first time in the case before the judge. Now, this clearly is trouble for Trump, although Trump hopes to use it politically in the run-up to 2024 presidential elections, because he calls this as persecution. First of all, this arraignment that we're talking about, Donald Trump will appear before a judge for the first time in this matter. Trump is going to plead not guilty in the case. The trial could go on well beyond the presidential election 2024, because it could take around over 2 years from the indictment that has just happened to the trial verdict, which means that if, for instance, Donald Trump is elected president, he will become for the first time a president on trial. And even if he is elected as president, he cannot pardon himself of state charges. These are criminal charges that are going to be pressed against him, but the exact nature of the charges are only going to be announced when he presents himself on Tuesday before the judge.